In my assessment, there will be no trial in the impeachment court because Vice President Sara correctly, as a lawyer, would not want to start a trial because once the trial starts, you do not know how it will end. Karen, you were involved as part of the defense team of President Erap Estrada.
Of Corona. Chief Justice Corona, yes.
You'll never know what will happen in the course of the trial.
Yes.
You'll never know what comes out as evidence, and therefore, you'll never know how the senators will vote, how public opinion will be swayed, which is a factor in the impeachment trial. How is this, in my opinion, will this be prevented? What will be prevented is a trial. The impeachment is there, but the trial will, in my view, will never happen. Because if I were Vice President Sara, I would immediately put up front at the start of the trial issue of jurisdiction. Very simple question. Would the senators of the 20th Congress have jurisdiction over allegations and complaints filed in the 19th Congress? If you look at the calendar put out by Senate President Escudero, you will notice that yes, the impeachment process will start, I think, in June.
In
2,
June, yes,
June 2.
yes.
But if you look at it, what will happen on June 2? Sir, many preliminaries, answers, etc. The actual trial, I think will start in
July.
July.
Yes.
No longer this, the present Congress. So, if I were Vice President Sara, I will immediately question the jurisdiction of the 20th Congress. Now, the first body that will decide that is the impeachment court itself. Now, in the impeachment court, will decide one way or the other, it will end up in the Supreme Court. So the issue of jurisdiction will have to be tackled in the Supreme Court, and I am not aware of any precedent which we can rely upon.
Yes.
So,
but that's really interesting because there's also an pending case in the Supreme Court right now questioning whether this impeachment can prevail because of the fourth impeachment being the one endorsed by Congress.
So there are a lot of legal issues. And the issue that will confront them is whether the 20th Congress can try a case where it was started and filed by the previous Congress. Now, maybe you want to ask the question, how this will fit the agenda of the president? Mm-hmm. You know, the headline today said, BBM insists, I don't want VP impeached. So this sends
this came out just today,
yes,
that the president said
yes,
ayaw niya ng impeachment.
Ayaw niya ng impeachment. So, if I were a senator, I am looking at the president as my political leader, he says, I don't want impeachment. How do you think my decision will be?
So are you saying that the senators will listen to the signals of the president? Because it seems like Congress did not listen to that. If he were consistent, diba? From the start, he was saying, yes, I don't want an impeachment.
Believe you me, Karen, I have been there. I've been there, I've done that.
Yes. I know you were actively also in the impeachment. We were on opposite sides.
Right.
You were the prosecution.
Right. But I'm talking here theoretically
yeah.
and what I have experienced. The president, being the political leader, would have much of an influence on the impeachment proceedings. Whether or not he will succeed is another matter. But he will take a look at it, etc.
But Senator
let me finish. The way I read it today, Karen, regardless of the merits of the impeachment complaint, the president supports what is popular. Regardless of the merits of the impeachment complaint, the president, to me, supports what is popular. What the recent Pulse Asia survey showed, at least half of the entire nation, 50% of the Filipinos, do not support the impeachment. And don't tell me that there is no merit in the impeachment complaint. But the popular view is that the vice president should not be impeached And that is what,
Do you
unfortunately...
think that the president is
Of
considering?
course, it fits his agenda.
Yeah.
Because look, Karen, in my view, there are no numbers in the Senate to convict Sarah. There are no numbers.
Currently, the composition, they
yes.
don't have enough votes to
Yes,
convict Vice
they
President
need 16.
Sara.
I don't think there are 16 there. So that is why a good excuse would be to come out with a ruling that there is no jurisdiction, and therefore the case will not be tried.
So your fearless forecast is that there will be no impeachment trial. That
My
this could
fearless
be,
forecast is that there will be no impeachment trial
that this could be dismissed on a procedural issue.
on a
Jurisdiction.
jurisdictional issue.
Yes.
Mark